Where's the head guy?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna like this white void better without him. But I'm bored now.
Bring back the head guy.
Where'd
Yeah,
the
where'd he
head
go?
go?
Bring him back.
I'm so confused. Where is he? At first we feel so alone.
We're going to keep track of all these twos on this handy dandy counter here. Okay, so we broke the counter. Kind of like how Sega broke the number scheme for chronological releases, am I right? What the? It's going too fast! It's going to open a time portal! Ah! Hey everybody, I'm Benkelmonkey, and you know that feeling of wanting something because you can't have it, but then you get it and it's just not everything you thought it would be? Well, that's time travel for me right now. And that also applies to our game today, or whenever we are, Sonic CD. Growing up, I'd always heard that Sonic CD was the rarest and bestest Sonic game. And living pre-internet, I totally believed the hype. At this point in my life, I didn't even know what a Sega CD was. And if you still haven't heard of it, I really can't blame you. By the early 90s, rumblings about CD technology started making waves amongst video game companies in Japan. The TurboGrafx CD had already entered the market running CDs, and the Philips CDI wasn't too far behind. Even Nintendo was in talks with Sony in this pre-PlayStation era about working together on using discs for an upcoming console. Sega didn't want to be left out of all the fun, so they started work on the Mega CD, or Sega CD in the West. Now, if you've never touched or seen or smelled a TurboGrafx CD or a Philips CDI, that's pretty reasonable, because these consoles cannot be defined as successful. Many might even use the word failure. And the partnership between Nintendo and Sony fell through, so Nintendo spent the next generation of consoles on cartridge while everyone else was repping CDs. But Sega, oh buddy, they went for it with the Sega CD. Despite the name making it sound like a brand spanking new console, it was an add-on to the Sega Genesis. A $300 add-on. So to play Sonic CD when it came out in 1993, you had to have a Sega Genesis, a Sega CD, and a copy of the game. So really, it was the rich kids' Sonic game. And the rich kids really liked Sonic CD. Over half of Sega CD owners had a copy of Sonic CD, which sounds like a pretty big deal until you compare those numbers to the total number of Genesis consoles sold. So at launch, it was a really expensive game to play, and most people never got the chance. 3 years later, it got a port to Windows, and then 9 years after that, they released it in the Sonic Gems collection, along with a bunch of other forgotten Sonic games, mostly for the Game Gear. Gems my ass. But the game got crazy good reviews, touting it as the best Sonic game so far. I bought the Gems collection as soon as I found out Sonic CD was on it, because I was tired of not knowing what I was missing out on. And what we got? Well, it's pretty out there. Like I mentioned in the Sonic 2 video, the rest of the top folks at Sonic Team ditched Naoto Oshima to go to the US.
I'm out of here.
So Sega of Japan turned to Oshima to make an add-on selling Sonic game for the Sega CD. And I guess without Yuji Naka and Hirokazu Yasuhara holding him back, Oshima got to let his freak flag fly. Let's start with the story. So there's this tiny planet called Little Planet that appears once a year above Never Lake, but somehow doesn't demolish the planet's gravitational field or cause massive tidal waves. Anyway, Dr. Robotnik chains the planet to a mountainside and starts mechanizing the planet, turning it into a new fortress for his robot army. Having given up on the Chaos Emeralds for the time being, he's focused his attention on a different set of shiny rocks, the Time Stones. The Time Stones, get this, control time, and Robotnik has used them to go into the past and set up robot generators. That way, by the present day, Little Planet's already swarming with his robots, making the job go a lot faster. I wonder if this is Robotnik dealing with his mortality, trying to buy himself some more time before his inevitable death from whatever ailment causes him to be so egg-shaped. I almost feel for the guy, thinking of his squandered youth, all that time wasted, not growing a following on internet platforms, not creating more content. He just wishes he'd done more earlier. Anyway, Sonic's gotta stop Robotnik in the past, present, and future to save Little Planet. But the plot thickens when Amy Rose, Sonic's biggest fangirl/stalker, follows him onto Little Planet and gets captured by Robotnik's newest creation, Metal Sonic. The real one this time. So now Sonic has to save Amy and Little Planet and time travel. He's got a lot of shit to do. But how does he do it? Well, the game is built using the code from Sonic 1, so he does it pretty clunkily. He still runs and jumps. Well, that's just awful. The spin dash introduced in Sonic 2 has been added, but it doesn't function exactly the same. So when you start the spin dash, the screen pushes forward, in theory so you can see if you're going to get wrecked by something. But if you let go of the button before the screen is done scrolling, you just stand there like a confused doofus. They also added the super peel out, which makes you go faster than a spin dash, but doesn't protect you from enemies. Looks cool though. But the new addition that stands out the most is the time traveling. Littered throughout each act are these signposts that say past or future on them. If you touch one and maintain top speed for long enough, you'll get warped to the time period associated with the sign. Very Back to the Future and all that gigawatts. If you go to the future right away, you'll see the bad future, where Robotnik has completely taken over Little Planet. So the idea is to go to the past, find the robot generator, destroy it, and then you can go check out the good future. Can you imagine it though? Being able to go back in time and change something to give yourself a better future just by touching a signpost? Give me that. Gee willikers, mister. You scared the dickens out of me. Okay, shut up, far more wholesome past version of me. I'm you from the future. The future? Golly, we sure don't know how to travel through time here in 2019. 2019? Okay, kid, hear me out. Some crazy stuff is going to happen in 2020, and you're going to have a lot, and I mean a lot of time on your hands. Everyone is. Are we all going on vacation? You're definitely not going on vacation. Or anywhere. You're starting to scare me. I should be. You need to use that time making that video game review channel that you've always wanted. Really focus on it. Don't get sidetracked on other things. You can make it big faster if you just keep pumping out videos. Well, okie dokie then. I'll get to work right now. Is there anything else I should know about the future? Oh wow, there's so many things that could be useful. First, there's going to be a toilet paper shortage. Second, don't get attached to anything on Quibi. Future. Oh no. Invest in GameStop and Dogecoin! I think I might have had my priorities a little backwards there. Kinda like the developers of Sonic CD. Oshima saw the speed-focused gameplay of Sonic 2 and wanted to take his game in a different direction. Instead of trying to blast through a level as quickly as possible, Sonic CD focuses on exploration. Sound weird for a Sonic game? Well, it is. The idea was that by making the levels larger, it would provide more things to find and more replay value. This grows exponentially when you realize that the maps for each act are different in the past, present, good future, and bad future. Little Planet? More like Little Big Planet. This would be a really cool design choice if the levels were, good. I'm sorry, but these levels are just bad. It sometimes feels like a 4-year-old made them in Mario Maker. Springs, which in past games have acted as a sort of guide through the level, are placed in seemingly random places, and the vertical springs don't let you turn into a ball, which leaves you very vulnerable. I hope you know where you're going to land, but most often it's going to be a leap of faith. That is, if you can tell what is and isn't a platform to land on. The game has some of the busiest backgrounds and foregrounds I've ever seen. I was constantly worried that something in the background might actually be an enemy that just blended in too well. So with crazy confusing level layouts and enemies that you may or may not see before it's too late, it makes it pretty hard to do the Sonic thing of go fast. But they made that an integral gameplay mechanic for time travel. For it to work, you have to maintain top speed for a few seconds. But if you get close to time and then lose that momentum, they take that power away from you. And you can't just go back to the same signpost and try again. You have to find a new one. It's super frustrating. The devs clearly realized that this was an issue on many levels and built little stations to pick up and maintain time travel speed, which is appreciated. And as cool as time traveling to see what changed in a level sounds, the levels do absolutely nothing to make you care about their past, present, or future. And I think most of that comes from many levels not representing a location and being based on more of a concept instead. Collision Chaos, for example, is just a bunch of blocks and bumpers. You know what it looks like in the past? Different colored blocks and bumpers. Same goes for both futures. Now imagine Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. If you could go into the past of that, maybe it's the undeveloped land where the chemical plant would be built. Or maybe the construction zone while it's being built. And the future could be it falling apart after being shut down for its countless OSHA violations. I'd want to see that, but all the alliterative areas of Sonic CD don't feel like they have that kind of through line in mind. Palm Tree Panic is your standard Green Hill-esque opening level. Collision Chaos, as the name promises, is a chaotic mess of bumpers and flippers with awkward physics. Tidal Tempest is the water level. That's about it. Quartz Quadrant is a pretty fun level built around conveyor belts that you can change the direction of. Wacky Workbench is a nightmare. If you touch the floor, you get launched to the top of the level, but the only way to progress is in the lower parts of the level, just above the floor. So it's constantly launching you up and you're constantly flying out of control in the traps and enemies. Cute gimmick, but in practice it's just super frustrating. Stardust Speedway is Sonic CD at its best. It's fast, frantic, still a little overly chaotic and confusing, but it's a really fun time, truly living up to the Speedway in its name. It's topped off with the game's most iconic moment too, the race against Metal Sonic. Lastly, there's Metallic Madness, which is as difficult as you'd expect a last level to be. Spikes and pits and other obstacles you won't see coming, including a section where they shrink Sonic. Bet you didn't see that coming. I don't love the level design in this game. They want you to explore and find secrets scattered throughout the level, but I can't tell the hill I climbed there from the hill I climbed here. It just doesn't feel rewarding in any measurable way. But if you squirm your way through it, you beat the game and save Little Planet. What a happy ending. Speaking of happy endings, couldn't hurt to see how my handiwork turned out. And that's Sonic 06. Whew, what a wild ride that was. So let's put that on the ranking list. Whoa! It's past me! Oh man, is it time for this conversation already? How's it going, dude? Oh, you're on Sonic 06. What year is it? Coming to you live from 2025. It's 2025 and you're only on Sonic 06? Well, I get busy sometimes, and past me didn't listen to himself. Typical. No, this is all wrong. I didn't change anything, did I? This is the same future I was going to get if I didn't go to the past, isn't it? How am I supposed to know? I can't see the future. Well, I've seen some of your future. By the way, August 16th, 2023. Don't get the tuna melt. Please. What? Sure, okay. But I'm trying to prevent this future from happening at all. I gotta go back. I gotta light a fire under my own ass. I mean, I've been here as you before too, you know. Ooh, the bad ending. The past signpost is over there. Okay, so now I just need to find another past sign, and I'll make my past self work harder, and we'll clean up all of this mess. Speaking of messes, just like the level design, the story of this game's soundtrack is a complex mess. Each area/zone has its own original theme music, but each time period has its own variation on that theme music. So there is a metric butt-ton of music in this game. But when Sega of Japan sent the game over to be localized, Sega of America didn't like the soundtrack. They didn't like it so much that they delayed the game's release by 2 months to record different songs for the game. Apparently they didn't think the Japanese tracks were rich or complex enough. So instead of this, we got this. So they wrote this whole new soundtrack, but due to a coding issue, they couldn't remove the Japanese tracks from the past areas. So they're still there, probably confusing the crap out of all those 90s rich kids. The North American soundtrack isn't all bad. It's a really fascinating time capsule of what corporate America thought kids liked in the 90s. But most importantly, it gave us Sonic Boom, the song that plays during the amazing anime intro for this game. They work so well together to get you pumped about the adventure ahead of you. But I also have to give props that You Can Do Anything, or Toot Toot Sonic Warrior from the Japanese soundtrack. It's a quirky little bop as well. In general, though, I think the Japanese soundtrack is better. It just sounds more like a Sonic soundtrack to me. As for the best level music in the game, I gotta go with Stardust Speedway Bad Future. It's the soundtrack to the best moment in the game, and in general, it's just a jam. And as silly as it sounds, the music is CD quality, a big selling point for this whole add-on, which is noticeably higher quality. This one's taken the top spot. I got this. This will be easier than the boss fights in this game. They get weird with the boss designs in this one. Most of them are pretty non-threatening, to be honest. Like, this guy's got bumpers for hands. This one's just a pseudo pinball machine you have to get to the top of. Tidal Tempest is actually pretty cool. Robotnik's covered with the big bubbles you use to breathe underwater, and you gotta pop them to bop them. I gotta give it to Tidal Tempest. This water level keeps you oxygenated. Some of the boss fights are even kinda quirky and fun. The conveyor belt running one in Quartz Quadrant is a good and easy time. Robotnik even does a little jig over it. In Wacky Workbench, you have to platform up the debris to bop Robotnik a few times. Once you figure out the physics of it, it ain't no thing. And this all builds up to that race against Metal Sonic I keep talking about, which isn't the final boss, but honestly, they could have stopped here and it would have been good. This is really the first boss battle in Sonic history where being fast is the fight. You just have to be faster than Metal Sonic and avoid his M. Bison Psycho Crusher move and all the spikes. If you're too slow, Robotnik gets you with his insta-kill laser. Wait a minute, he has an insta-kill laser that doesn't care if you have rings or not? Why hasn't he been using this forever? That just leaves Metallic Madness's boss, of which I am not a fan. Get it? Because he looks like it. Anyway, this is a super anticlimactic final boss compared to the Death Egg robot, or maybe even the piston thing from the first game. But all the while, in North America, you get to listen to the creepiest boss music I have ever heard. You can't hurt me in my toilet paper fort! I asked me to do one simple thing, and I couldn't even handle that, could I? Look, I get distracted sometimes. You just didn't listen to me. Typical. Well, no more distractions. I've got my eyes on me now, and I am not leaving this time until we've accomplished our goal. Is it really our goal? Well, it's my goal, and you are me, so yes. Okay. I should have realized this sooner. You have to do a lot of things to get the good future ending in Sonic CD. So I've mentioned the robot generators, and the weird level design, and the speed-based time travel mechanics. You put all that together, and you get yourself a slog. You have to find the robot generator in every Act 1 and Act 2 to get the good ending. Oh, right, we're back to the 3-act structure of Sonic 1, which does make these areas overstay their welcome. So you have to find all 14 robot generators, and to say some of them are hidden cryptically is an understatement. But wait, there's another way. You can head to the special stage, where you chase and destroy flying saucers to get all 7 of the time stones in glorious faux 3D. Getting to the end of the levels with 50 rings is hard enough, but to destroy all the UFOs with the bad hit detection before time runs out is asking a lot. But we have to do it, right? We have to get the good future. If you beat the game without destroying every robot generator or getting every time stone, Little Planet tries to leave, but Robotnik just goes back in time and chains it right back up. So we gotta do all these tedious, cryptic tasks if we ever want to see what the good future looks like. There, that wasn't so hard now, was it? I haven't been outside in months. And I think all my friends have forgotten me. But think of the big picture. We've created the best possible future for ourselves. I'm gonna find a signpost and see how we did. I didn't know I could be that ruthless. But now I can finally go outside and see all of my loved ones. Plus spring is upon us. It's March of 2020, and I'm finally going to take my life back. Right after I check the news. Yes! No! Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, ring, share, like, subscribe. What's going on? Me! You're gonna help, right? Like you did in the past? I mean, I can try. What do you need help with? Just keep editing this video on Cyberpunk 2088, and don't forget to post on Insta about how you're editing the video, and post on Facebook about how you're Insta-ing your editing process. And I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute for the first time this week. Oh, wow, I am not okay, am I? This isn't what I pictured at all. The other future me seemed a lot happier. Did I do something wrong? I think I took Sonic CD a little too seriously. I know what I gotta do. In my opinion, doing everything to get the good ending in Sonic CD takes most of the fun out of the game. The entire incentive to get the good future is a cutscene that you can watch online. You don't get to play as Super Sonic, you don't unlock a special secret boss. It's just a cutscene. And bragging rights, I guess. This game can be a lot of fun when you don't take it so seriously. Just play through the levels, time travel to when you want to. But don't let it cause you anxiety like it did to me. If you just enjoy the ride, this game's pretty alright. And maybe there's a life metaphor in all of this somewhere. Sometimes it's better to have a good time and get the bad ending than to have a bad time and get the good ending. I asked me to do one simple thing, and I couldn't even handle that. It's okay. Really, don't listen to that guy. Live your life how you want to. Enjoy the ride. We're gonna be okay. You mean it? Yeah, I do. But here's one new idea I think you'll like. Oh, yeah, I can get into that. Thanks, me. Any time. But seriously, if you invest in Dogecoin and GameStop right now, quit meddling! Okay, I'm out of here. So Sonic CD is a weird piece of Sonic history. Fortunately, in 2009 they remade it in a new engine created by Christian Whitehead that makes the game so much better. It cleaned up so many of the glaring issues with the game, and even lets you switch between the North American and Japanese soundtracks. But for this show, I like to review the original games, so we're looking at the original engined version of the game here. Don't worry though, we'll talk about Christian Whitehead again. You can count on that. Oh my god, this thing is attracted to bad math puns. Come here, you hunk of junk. Did it work?
He's back.
We were getting worried.
We basically missed you.
Well, this sure feels nice. Glad to be back, you representation of a fan base, you. So let's get to the ranking list. If you play Sonic CD the way I suggested, bad ending and all, the mechanics and flourishes of this game put it just above Sonic 1 for me, but nowhere near Sonic 2. Sonic CD takes the number 2 spot.
What is this garbage?
Haven't you heard it's the best 2D Sonic game of all time?
Well, this guy doesn't get Sonic at all.
Yep, this is definitely leading to the bad ending, isn't it? Thank you all for watching. And if you were wondering what I suggested to my past self, well, I'd like to introduce to this timeline our Patreon. Hey everyone, future Benkelmonkey again. That's right, we've started a Patreon. This is a step in growing the channel in a way that lets us create content that's not necessarily YouTube algorithm friendly. We've got some fun ideas for giving back to those who support us, like opening a Discord channel, having you pick which series or game I'm going to cover next, and even getting to voice someone in the peanut gallery. There's even some swag. We'll be adding some more perks as we grow, and we look forward to having you along for the ride with us. So please, check us out at patreon.com/Benkelmonkey. Back to past me. Where is it present me? Once again, thank you for being a part of this channel. Please give us a like, a subscribe, comment about what you do with a ridiculous time travel premise. And as always, have a good one. Ugh, my head. My voice. My eye. Why would I do that to myself? I was only striving for greatness. If I'm going to keep getting in my own way, there's only one thing to do. Get rid of myself.